All right, guys, today we are going to be putting our Vevor gun up against our Eastwood dual 250 powder coating gun. We're gonna test both of them on the same powder on very similar parts, and we're gonna see which gun, in my opinion, lays down the powder better. Now, obviously on the dual voltage Eastwood gun, you have two settings. You have a 15 kV setting as well as a 25 kV setting. The gun is a cup gun with the cup on the bottom, so it actually has to create a little bit of suction to pull up that powder and then to spit it out. To charge the gun itself, it's got a handheld push button, which is kind of nice. If you're really handy, you can actually put both of them in one hand, push the button while you're spraying. It comes with a grounding strap so that you can strap your part to get the ground, and then obviously your plug here. On the Vevor side, you've got a very similar gun setup, except for it's more of a gravity fed gun. It's gonna let the powder fall down into the gun, and then your air is gonna assist it out. The main difference on this gun is it comes with this setup. So you've got a little dial here to adjust your pressure. You've got a air filter, oil water separator, and then a quick connect that all comes with the gun. On your Eastwood, you're gonna need all of this stuff on your own. It does have a pedal. That's what turns the charge on the gun there for safety, so it's just not always going. Plug and ground strap. This gun does have a little bit more adjustability where you have two settings on the Eastwood. This actually goes anywhere from 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So that is one thing I really like about this over the Eastwood is you have more power and you can actually back it off quite a bit if you're doing recoats. So we're gonna test this out on a first coat. We've got some parts with some Faraday areas. We'll do a couple with the Eastwood, we'll do a couple with the Vevor, and we'll see how they do. Because we have a established ground, we're not gonna use their ground. Right. So go ahead and just put our normal ground in the cart. And that's one less thing you got to worry about.
Yeah, a lot of cords and stuff with these.
Right? This is why these suck.
Yeah.
If you're set up like with a cart for the gun and for all the equipment, it's not a bad deal. But when you're set up to do it out of like a box feed gun, it kind of becomes a pain. You don't want to flip it on. So what are you set at?
30.
Let's all crank it all the way up. So that's 50?
Yep.
Okay. So with this system, when you pull the trigger, it doesn't electrify it right away.
Right.
So if you just pull it now, you didn't clean that up very good, did you?
I thought I did.
That's a lot of air. So
right.
Dial that back down.
Yeah, all right.
Like barely, there you go. So you want to keep these guns up.
Okay.
Otherwise you just dump powder. That's the bad thing about gravity feed is that the powder will just fall out of them if it's down. So when you go to spray that, you have to click I just hold it in my hand because then you don't have to drag the pedal around. So this part we're not really using as part of the test, but it's fine, let's coat it. It'll be this part, which is a pretty tight corners, and then this part. So if you want to kind of get used to the gun, go ahead and just spray that part and then we'll move into these. All right. So different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Than a pro gun. The other thing is you got to kind of remember you're pointing it up. So you got to get it a little down to get the powder to come out. And you got that compressed. Yeah, it's a slower process for sure.
Not bad though.
Yeah, it's not really meant for like cranking out 100 parts a day. It's more for hobbyists in the garage. So the one thing I want to show on camera, that he's painted the front, and you don't really have a whole lot of wraparound. So usually with a professional gun, you would get a lot of wraparound. It's just because the gun doesn't have that kind of power. I'd turn your air up just a little bit more, like rotate it away. So what I would do is turn this down. You got a good amount of powder in there.
Yeah.
So you see how it's back there? Shake it down, see how much it just went down.
Right.
And you're gonna wanna be back a little bit more because when you're that close, you're still gonna blow it out of there. There you go. Yeah, there's still a little, it's fighting it on the welds. Does this have the same powder in it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get those done and then we'll
All right.
try that and see if it does any better in there. Try going a lot slower. I'd probably do another pass on it, just get the So try going a lot slower up it. This gun, it takes more time because it just doesn't have the charging ability. So let's add the ground strap to it and see if it solves that.
Still just a little bit up there.
Do just a hair more. There you go.
Backside looks all right. Maybe a little right there, but
Let's switch over to the Eastwood and I'll bring those parts over. So you're gonna need, yep. You gotta push that button.
right. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. There we go. It's weird too because it.
You can take that off.
Okay. Yeah, in that corner. Still a little there, yeah.
So let's do what we did on that other one.
Well, I got it set on low.
That's what you would want it to be.
Right. Try the ground.
We'll see if this helps. Yeah, we'll move it over here. Let me take it off. Oh, so on the back here, it's not coating at all.
I don't really want to get around that hook, does it?
Yeah, let's try spraying it from the front and see if it wrap around. It'll be all right. So here we're gonna actually just put it on the hard.
Okay.
And then at the end, you'll have to take it off and coat that. putting that ground on there definitely helps. Just leave it on the ground and then it should touch up fairly easy. When you're done with that, we'll touch up that box and around that hook.
Okay.
See if it'll do any better in there. So that's kind of when I was saying to do attack and attack. That's why. Because when you put weld in there, it wants to reject it. That'll be good. All right, send it and we'll do a quick little interview with you and see your thoughts on them each.
Is there one that I'm supposed to say is better or not?
No, I want your actual honest opinions. We don't lie on this channel. Obviously, you've never sprayed with the Eastwood gun. You've never sprayed with the Vevor gun. You've only used our Electron. Give me your initial thoughts on each gun, how they compare to each other, and how you think that they compare to the Electron.
Vevor was kind of tough because it's the gravity feed and you had to keep the gun kind of tipped forward. I mean, it sprayed nice. The foot thing's kind of
you got to remember to do it.
Yeah.
And then you have another cord you're dragging around.
Yeah, but the adjustability is nice. The Eastwood. That gun I liked because it was the bottom feed and it seemed whatever angle you were at, it sprayed.
Worked.
Yeah, it sprayed nice. I like the hand button instead of the foot button. Other than that, they're both.
They did about the same.
Yeah. They have their ups and they have their downs.
Right. I may be jogging my memory a little rough here. The Vevor I think is about $80 on the website, and I think Eastwood is anywhere from like 120 to 150. So if you say you want to start powder coating at home and doing your own projects, if you were to buy one either way, which way would you go? Like, and this isn't to do production work, but you got to kind of get your head out of here.
So the Vevor was nice because it came with the
air filter,
and then the adjustment
valve.
Yep.
And it actually has a quick connect too.
Right.
Which is the most popular quick connect out there.
Bang for your buck, the Vevor.
Yeah. But the Eastwood's a pretty decent gun.
Yeah, it is.
I know I've done a video where we actually sprayed 3 coats with the Vevor and it put them all on without a problem. So that's my most impressive feature on the Vevor. The thing that Eastwood does have on it, it does pull the powder up and spray it a little bit more consistently. With the Vevor, you got to make sure the powder's not rocked back in the cup because you still need it to come down. So the air that goes into that cup, I just don't know if it moves enough. So overall, they pretty much do the same thing. The Vevor's a little bit cheaper, so it wins that. Eastwood sprays a little bit more consistent. I would say it wins that. If you look at the video, we were having the same Faraday areas with the corners of the parts and around the hooks. And honestly, your professional guns are going to struggle in those spots a little bit too. It's just not as bad. So they're both pretty decent entry-level guns. We'll link them down in the video description if you want to check them out. And then we'll check out these parts when they come out. The box is a little rough, but everything else looks
I mean,
The problem with these guns is they don't transfer the same amount of powder as a professional gun. So someone like Luke, who he only has experience with a professional gun, going down to a entry-level gun, he's going to struggle a little bit because you have to spend more time and you have to go a lot slower for that powder to build up. Whereas with the Electron gun, you can make pretty quick passes and it would build up really fast. So those guns are not really meant to do big pieces of work. It's more of a hobby gun. So overall, I think especially the brackets and everything, they all turned out. You got to spend a little bit more time. It's light right on that edge. I can see it in the crack. So you got to spend a lot of time in those Faraday areas, but the guns work. They're just not as efficient, as capable as a professional gun. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video where we showed you the Eastwood dual voltage gun as well as the Vevor gun and put them head to head. As you can tell, there are some pluses and minuses to both guns, but overall, you can't go wrong if you're just getting into powder coating with these things. They are very affordable, and with some practice and some due diligence on parts and how to spray them, you will get a decent coating on your parts. So thanks for watching. Check out the links down below if you're interested in these guns, and get out there and coat something.